Hey y'all. I see there's a couple people on here and there may be some other people that join us. I really didn't decide to do this until literally the last minute. Um because I had a student ask me for help on this particular thing and I was like, "Well, I'll do it in a little bit." And I was going to just type it out and that just took too long. So it's easier for me, I'm a pencil and paper kind of girl. It was easier for me to just kind of make a chart. Yes, I know if Maggie is anywhere around, she'll go, "Oh my God, she made another chart." Yes, I made a chart. I love charts. Anyway, um, and no, before somebody's a smarty pants, I did not do my makeup because I was going to do this. Do my makeup because it was just one of them days, if that makes sense. I know it does. Okay. So on your packet, pack 4, day 4, excuse me, it calls them uh main clauses and subordinate clauses. But I'm used to calling them independent and dependent. So I tried to label it to where you would know which one I was talking about. So this is the chart. I'm trying to look through the holes to make sure y'all can see it. And I will post this to Canvas, but I wanted to explain it before I posted it because it is a little confusing. So, okay, we'll start with simple. So, a simple sentence has one main clause or independent clause, and a subordinate clause, there is none in a simple sentence because it's simple. It's like people who can only process one thought at a time. Okay, they are simple people, they can't multitask. Okay, y'all know I get sidetracked. So compound, it has two main clauses or two independent clauses, and it still has no subordinate clauses. So we're still operating with just main ideas, main thoughts. So when we say independent clauses, that means it has a subject and it has a verb and it can stand by itself. So one of my favorite ones that teachers always use is two words: Jesus wept. It has a subject, Jesus. It has a verb, wept. That is a simple independent clause. Your independent clause may be really, really long, but it may still only have one subject, one verb, if that makes sense. Okay. But anyway, compound would be like Jesus wept and he died. Jesus wept, simple sentence. He died, simple sentence. Okay. But you've put them together with the comma and, okay. Now, this is where it starts getting tricky is with complex. Complex, you have only one independent clause. So you can't have Jesus wept, comma, and he died. No. You can only have Jesus wept or he died. So complex, you only have one main clause. And then you can have one or more. You can have as many as you want to, but you have to have one subordinate clause. So Jesus wept and died. Okay, died being the subordinate clause. Compound complex, you have to have two independent clauses, but you still only have to have one subordinate clause or dependent clause. You can have more than two, you can have more than one, but you only have to have the number that is in the chart. The plus means that you can add two, but you have to have that number. Okay, so let me give you some examples. And you see, I color coded. I like my colors. Orange means independent clause, and blue means dependent clause. So here's a simple: John went to the store. Simple. It's all independent, all by itself. It cannot stand alone. Compound, John went to the store, comma, and he got milk. You have two independent clauses. John went, he got. Now, complex, again, here we go. Complex is probably the most difficult. That's why it's called complex. We English teachers aren't really like creative with names if you hadn't caught on to that. John went to the store because he needed milk. Guys, if you cover up that orange part and just say because he needed milk, you can't leave that by itself because he needed milk. Okay, what about that? Because he needed milk, what? Because he needed milk, he robbed the dairy truck. Because he needed milk, he went to the gas station. Because he needed milk, he turned into Hulk. I mean, what's after the because? It's what I call the so what. Because he needed milk. Okay, so what? Or your subordinate, your dependent clause can come at the beginning. Because he needed milk, comma, John went to the store. Okay. Now, here's where you get tricky. Remember on your chart, you had to have one independent, but you could have more than one dependent. So here's where your trickiness comes in. John went to the store, one independent clause, because he needed milk and couldn't get any. These are two subordinate clauses. Couldn't get any. Okay. What do you mean couldn't get any? Couldn't get any what? Couldn't get what? What you talking about? Okay. So again, if you say something, John went to the store. Boom, done. Now you might question why he went to the store. But think about if you're having a conversation. John went to the store. Then the next person's going to say, oh, well, why did he go to the store? And then you will tell them. But if somebody looks at you and goes, because he needed milk, you're like this, like you're like waiting, like, okay, what? Because he needed milk, what? Like, what's next? Okay. Now, here's another way your independent clause can be in the middle of your two dependent clauses. Alexis, if you're one of my people that's up there, it's just breathe, honey. Breathe. Because he needed milk, comma, John went to the store and found it closed early. Found it closed early is not an independent clause. If you looked at me and said, well, I went to the store and I couldn't get any. Why? Found it closed early. What closed early? The store? The milk? Like, do you mean it? Like, what are you talking about here? Okay. Now, here's your compound complex. And yes, I know you're already looking at this bottom one and you're going, oh my God. Okay. John went to the store because he needed milk, comma, but the store was closed. So that one has two independent clauses. Again, back to your thing, you can have two independents, but you have to have at least one dependent. You can have more, but you have to have one. It has one. All right, here you got 2 and 2. Because he needed milk, all right, that's dependent, comma, John went to the store, comma, and he didn't get any since his wallet got left at home. So think about it like this. It's like talking and trying to have a conversation. And if you have little brothers and sisters, and I will upload all of that. So anybody who's like, oh my God, I couldn't write that fast. I'll upload it. Don't panic. And you don't have, you wouldn't have to go back and watch the video to get it. Think about it if you are trying to have a conversation with your parent and you have little brothers and sisters and you're talking to them and your little brother or sister keeps interrupting. It's like bits and pieces. So that's how complex and compound complex works. If you didn't have this other part, it would be like you were having a conversation, okay, with your parent and toddlers were jumping in. So bottom one, because he needed milk. Mommy, what's for supper? John went to the store, but he didn't get any. Mommy, since his wallet got left at home. So you see what I'm saying is it's like you keep getting interrupted. So if you don't have all the other pieces to it, then it's not going to be a standalone sentence. So I hope that cleared up. If it did not, I will try to do something different. I will upload these. Also, if you have other topics, because in your packet you have MLA formatting, you have, and I can go ahead and tell you that MLA formatting is a diving board for what's next, okay, when we go into May. So if you have questions, that's something you need to work on. There's also subject verb agreement and pronoun antecedent agreement, which is typically tricky. And you're also going to see some stuff about parallel structure in the coming weeks. So, guys, really and truly, if you have things that you want me to go over, I am happy to either jump on and do a live on YouTube or to set up a Zoom where I go over several different topics all at once. You can let me know. I hope everybody's doing good on this rainy Thursday. Remember, I love you and I miss you. I miss you a lot. It's just not quite the same. So, I hope everybody's doing good. Y'all behave, be sweet, and act like you got good sense. Remember, even if you don't, act like you got good sense. All right, bye, guys.